parents, we do our best to push back against kids and too much screen time. But we know screens are inevitably part of life. So how can we help our kids do screens better? Well, Andrea Davis is an author, educator, and mom of 5 who helps families lead more tech-friendly lives. Andrea, good to have you on the show.
Great to be here, Brian. Thanks.
Yeah, there's been some talk lately about the idea of dialing down color saturation on screens and maybe adjusting your TV color settings. So some parents have tried this as a way to be able to report less antsy, addictive kids, more calmness in the home. I guess that's where we should start. Is there any truth to that?
So it's interesting. Really, the things that will affect your child's behavior the most after screen time really have more to do with the content that they're viewing, like is it really fast-paced, high energy, and the time that they spend. I think this idea of changing the color saturation on your screen really stems from the fact that behavior scientists have been promoting and found value in people making their phones go grayscale, just so they'll spend less time on their phone, and they have proven that that is effective. So we have seen parents like changing the color saturation on the screen to bring it down, but I would say dial in the content, the time spent, and then if your child's behavior is still really off, then you can adjust the color saturation and see if it helps.
So the color's a factor, but for a different reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's really primarily, obviously we know like screens have come a long way. So the TV does have really vivid, bright colors, but quite often it's more the fast-paced content that is causing the stimulation for your child, not necessarily the color.
And you say new research points to long-form content as being better for your brain versus like a movie instead of a show. Why is that?
Yeah, because you're following along with the story, and so your brain is engaging there. So we're finding that a lot of the short-form content that we're digesting, like Instagram Reels or TikToks or YouTube Shorts, they're obviously meant to capture our attention and then spit out a new video. And so especially when it comes to growing brains, when we look at our kids, that's not really the kind of content we want to keep putting in front of a growing brain, because it's really better for them to be following along with the story and not to be stimulating the brain quite so much.
Those are good notes right here this morning. And a better swap, I understand, is also reaching for larger screens. What's the idea behind there?
Yeah, it's fascinating because I know sometimes we might think, oh, well, this is more educational to hand my kid a tablet. But we found that the interactive screens and touch screens are a lot more stimulating to kids' brains. And they have a lot harder time letting go of that. Whereas if you're watching on a TV, it's a shared experience. As a parent, you're better able to monitor the content and what's going on. And it's generally a lot easier to turn it off. And for any parent that's tried to pull an iPad out of a kid's hands, you probably have seen that firsthand.
We have seen that. I only have a 17-month-old, and already he's like, I want the phone, I want the iPad.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So we've seen it already at this age.
Yeah, it starts early because, again, it's attention grabbing, it's lights, and that's automatically what their eyes are going to. So it starts early.
So obviously this is something for our household. What's the bottom line for parents like us?
Yeah, really just starting with small changes and trying to keep those screens as a shared experience. You want the screens to be distant, not interactive, especially at an early age, and be engaging in more of that long-form content start out, and really just working together as a family to create that family tech plan so that as kids grow, you have a plan in place.
Good ideas, right? Where can we get some more helpful advice from you?
Yes, so you can find us at betterscreentime.com and also, ironically, on Instagram at betterscreentime.
Right? Maybe there's some work to do with that, right? Okay.
That's right.
Thank you, Andrea.
It's the watering hole.
That it is.